Hey, Luke here with CatsandCarp.com, and today we're doing something a little different. A couple years ago, I bought this fishing boat. I got a outboard, the boat, the trailer for about 700 bucks. And I have just used the heck out of it. I've loved this thing. It's just such a fun little boat. But it is old. It's from 1980s, and we've got transom damage. You can see right here, we've got these cracks. It goes down here and here, and we've got cracking, and this black stuff is rot or something. And over here on this side, we've got more of the same. I mean, look how bad that is. That goes right over there. I mean, this is barely holding on. That's a really bad thing, because what'll happen is your whole transom will tear off and you'll lose your outboard and your boat will sink. I've got to fix that. I'm not 100% sure how. I've never done it, but my basic understanding of fiberglass repair is that it's a little bit like making a piñata, only instead of candy inside, you put fish inside. That's terrible. Man, I'm dealing with this not a moment too soon. The screws almost have no thread left. 220/87. So this thing is 33 years old. Yeah, these cracks were here when I bought it, but they were just a lot smaller. This crack was more like right down here. There was a little bit of cracking here, but nothing like you see now. This is completely new. And this weeping, this black weeping, really started the beginning of this year, and it went downhill from there. So if you ever buy fiberglass and you see this black weeping out of the cracks of the transom, that is a very bad sign. So peering down into this crack, what it looks like to me is that the transom is a piece of plywood that's coated in fiberglass layers. So I think what's going to happen is we're going to have to go and cut off the entire back end of this boat. Then we're going to have to cut a new piece of marine grade plywood, the shape of the transom, put it in, and then do layer upon layer of fiberglass and epoxy. And then we're going to have to come in with the sander on the sides to take away some of the good material so that we can kind of blend it in and fuse the transom to the rest of the boat. I got to get online, do a little bit more research, order some materials, and we'll pick this up in a little bit. Originally, I was planning on repairing and replacing the fiberglass transom myself. Then the more I got into it, the more excited I was to hire somebody to do it. And so that's what I did. Got the back all replaced, all brand new, and even got some other cracks up here in the front corners repaired. But since I'm doing all this work on my boat, I decided to upgrade the fish finder, and I got the Garmin Livescope. Luckily, when they replaced the transom, they put this little block right there so I can easy mount my transducers better. So that'll make life easier. I just drill into this plastic instead of drill through the transom. All right, I got the Garmin EchoMap Ultra here that I'm gonna install. With the Garmin Livescope, the transducer is sold separately from the unit, and the low-end Garmin Livescope, the LVS12, is only 500 bucks, so that's pretty reasonable. The problem is it only works with one unit, and that unit is $2,000. So I've got a $2,500 fish finder that I'm going to be putting on a $500 boat. I think that tells you a lot about my personality type. I'm a weird dude. So this is the Garmin Livescope transducer. Nice little thin thing. Holy mackerel. Thing is massive. Assuming. Okay.
Fancy.
I think that's a better screen than my computer. Well, I've got my little boat cleaned up and loaded up, and I've got that fish finder installed, but it took a little tweaking, and I learned something. If you're going to be transom mounting the transducer and you want to fish off the back of the boat and be able to see your bait on the fish finder, you have to disregard the manufacturer's instruction. So this is the transducer, and normally you'd want to mount it level. You want to have it 2 clicks up. Normally, with this flush, the beam shoots under your seat, and when you're fishing over here, you're off the screen. But enough with all this maintenance, we need to do some actual fishing. I'm going to use a live channel cat. Check it out, I got the Garmin Livescope here, and I can see my weight and my live bait. Oh, that looks sick. Check it out, you can see bubbles coming up off the bottom. There's the bubbles. See, look at that, that's my catfish swimming around. See that, he's trying to swim off the bottom. And he's hitting the end of his leash. Look at that, there's a school of shad swimming through. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh. There we go, nice little channel catfish. Oh, look at that. That looks like what we want. Woo! See, there's my lead, and there's my bait. Man, I just saw something go prowling by. There we go. Get out of my gear. After losing a bunch of my rigs, I just decided to drift a little bit. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just very slowly, I'm maybe a foot off the bottom. My bait's just about a foot off the bottom, so it's just right there in the fish's face. To give you a size comparison, that's a bubble, that's a shad head, that's a 2-ounce lead weight. There's another bubble. I mean, if a catfish comes along, it's gonna look massive. Oh, look at that. Something right there. Something moving around right there on the bottom. Look at that. It's just like playing with it. Look at that. It just, yeah, it keeps going down and coming up and down and up to it. Yeah, I'm getting a bite. Yeah, I'm totally getting a bite, right? Look at that. My lead just swam off. Totally grabbed it and swam off. It must have just been a little guy. Still, there's a catfish right there. Catfish just swam up and is monkeying with that. Yep, I'm getting a hit. Yeah, I'm totally getting it. Look at my lead. Look at my lead. He's swimming off with my lead. I totally saw him swim off with my lead. Oh, and there's my bait and my lead coming back. This is amazing. This is amazing. I saw him come up and hit it. The little catfish messing with it. He's moving my lead back and forth. That guy ain't much bigger than my shad head. You see that? He's really struggling on this. He was making it tap. He could bend the rod a little bit, but just couldn't get it in his mouth. But on the screen, he didn't look that much bigger than my shad head, honestly. I just had the biggest scare I've ever had in a boat. I hit a log doing 21 miles per hour, and it was a log that was stuck to the bottom, so it wasn't a floating log. And luckily it was angled the right direction, and so the boat just went a little bit airborne instead of like getting impaled on the end of the log. It was, man, scared me to death. Yeah, hurt my hand a little bit, but nothing serious, and made a horrid mess of my boat. Everything is thrown around. I hit my hand on something. It seemed to have cut up my finger a little bit. There's no water coming in the bottom of the boat, so I didn't punch a hole in it, but I gotta get it up on the trailer and see how badly I damaged it. It really sucks. This is the first trip I've taken since I got my boat back from being repaired. So I got the boat kind of tilted up. Oh, dang it. You can see right where he hit. This is, oh man, that's cracked. Oh man. Well, I gotta admit, I'm not happy about this, but is what it is, and it's late, so I'm gonna put everything away, and tomorrow we'll inspect the boat a little bit closer. Not deep, it just kind of filleted my fingers right below the nail. Yeah. A bit of my skin came off. Yeah, that's the skin off of there. I just found that. All right, well, my lovely wife bandaged me up. I'm gonna go to bed, and tomorrow we're gonna inspect that boat and take a closer look at the damage. I don't know if I explained it really well, but I was filming at night and I was moving spots and I was going full throttle and I hit this log and it just scared the bejeebies out of me. And so I went, oh crap, we gotta get home, and that was kind of it for the video. But now that we have the harsh light of day, let's go and check out the damage. So what you can see is right here, I've got a crack right like that. Looking under the boat, we can see about an 8-inch crack right there, and I can also see that the keel is really worn. This is probably wear and tear from beaching the boat for many, many years. When I push on this crack, I really am not feeling any give. The crack isn't opening and shutting, so I don't think it's taking on water. Plus, I'm not sure what's inside this void. It might be like styrofoam, it might be air or something, or it might be wood. So I don't think it's going to take on water and sink the boat, but it'll probably let in moisture and rot out whatever's in there, and then that'll destroy the boat. I might be able to get away with just putting some epoxy over the top of that crack just to make it temporarily watertight, but that's really not a good fix. I like this boat. I really want to see it in good shape, so I think I might need to go and repair this again. Yeah, it's all busted up.
Yeah, walking.
Well, I think that's about it for today. If you guys want to see more about this, make sure you click subscribe so you can follow more of the drama of what happens to my little boat here. I actually did a video on how to buy a cheap fishing boat, and this is the boat I bought. I got it for 700 bucks for the trailer and motor and boat and everything. So if you want to see that video, I'll put a link in the description to that. I better put down the camera and start calling some fiberglass repair people. See you guys next Saturday.